Scott Britz, CrossFit athlete and founder of Battle Cancer, and I wanted to do a little bit of a talk on self-care. Now, I am not a Buddhist monk, I'm not a yoga teacher, and I'm someone who has to really pay attention to having a little bit of time to think about myself and think about recovery, and it's not something that I'm particularly used to. I just like training, especially when it comes to elite level CrossFit. You're trying to fit a lot of stuff in a day and you don't often think about that recovery for your body and your mind. Here's a few little things and some tips from me to help get that on track. The first one for me is making sure that you're utilizing this time, especially with everything that's going on, where you focus on your mobility. No matter what sport you do, if you just do bodybuilding, if you do powerlifting, if you do CrossFit, we can all be a little bit more supple, a little less pain in our lives, and the best way of doing that is through a great stretching routine. Pick some fantastic stuff out there from yoga. Go onto the MyProtein app and you'll see some suggestions and workout flows from people for mobility. Spend that time focusing on you. Think about your breathing when you're stretching as well. Take big, long, controlled breaths. It's going to be good for your mind, certainly good for your body. And for me, during this time where I'm training outside more than I've ever trained, I'm training with a limited equipment, getting more mobile means that when the gym's back open, I'm going to go back a little bit better me and a little bit more pain-free. Another great one, if you are like me and you spend a lot of time training and not a lot of time taking your mind off somewhere else, is combine the two. So picking something with a real low impact, so that's low impact on your joints, low impact on the cardio system, and doing something with what I like to call active listening. So when you're listening to music, it's great and it's a fantastic motivator, but it's not really engaging your brain. So if, like me, you've managed to get hold of like an air bike, or you've got a bike erg or some kind of spinning bike at home, throw on your iPad, throw on your iPhone and check out something on Netflix. People always talk about so many different documentaries, they talk about loads of different films off Amazon, anything like that. Pop it on and try and just do that at a nice low intensity between 45 minutes and 90 minutes. You're going to drift off into your own little world, you're going to exercise, it's going to be fantastic recovery for your joints and for your bones and for everything else that goes in, instead of smashing yourself to bits at the minute. It's really good because when you do CrossFit, you very rarely get to take on big endurance related stuff like that. And if you're a bodybuilder or you just like to keep in shape, a big long sweat session is going to do you some magical wonders. So find something cardio, even if that's a long walk where you listen to a podcast because you can't watch something. Find something that works for you and get on that long cardio and do some active listening / watching. The other one, you might not think of this when it comes to self-care, but writing down your training, thinking about your training from the week forward. Even if you follow a program that somebody else has given you, taking the time to write it out and make some small adjustments, that's spending time on you, and that's thinking about what works for you. You're going to think about your own weaknesses, your own strengths, and you can change some of the goals in and around what you need for that. Spend that time writing up your training plan and thinking about what your goal for that session, for that week, and for that month is going to be. That's some real good self-care. And the last one, from a CrossFit point of view, and I know people who do lots of lifting, your hands, yes, you get those calluses, and yes, they're massive signs that you work super hard, but a little bit of self-care. You don't have to be the one doing just your nails and your toenails. Think about your hands. So, okay, I'm not going to start painting my nails during quarantine and lockdown, but I look at getting rid of those calluses. The more I can get rid of those calluses, the less my hands rip, the more work I can do, and when I'm allowed to get back in a CrossFit competition, I'm going to get ready to go. So if you hear some filing happening around at my house, that's me getting my hands ready for the next workout, and that's some more stuff on self-care. Finally, the last thing on self-care, and we're going to go to the kitchen in a minute to talk about this, is your meals. So we're going to wait from here and we're going to take you to the kitchen and talk about that last little tip from me on self-care from my Proteins channel. I'll see you in the kitchen. And just like that, I'm in the kitchen. So what I wanted to talk about was food. Now, self-care at the moment can be lots of comfort eating, and people think, oh, well, I'm going to kind of jump off the bandwagon a little bit, eat chocolate, I'm going to drink more, I'm going to do some other stuff. And like, obviously anything in moderation is fine, but start looking for some healthy alternatives. That's the whole point of the amazing range that My Protein have, from spreads to snacks to zero carb alternatives and great tasting stuff, including savoury things. So it's not just those for a sweet tooth. Now, the biggest bit of advice in relation to self-care at the moment is think about your food. Plan it out across the day. If you're working from home, or if unfortunately you're not working at the moment, this is the key time for you to use that time to make some fresh meals, to think about those snacks that you're eating, and instead of reaching for that comfort blanket of food, reach for something else in the fridge instead. So, what we get in here, watermelon, nice and easy, but things like the protein spread, sticking these on rice cakes are perfect. It's zero sugar, you end up with great amount of protein in there, and you can have some real alternatives. And sticking to having fresh things ready in the fridge to eat. We've got fresh meat, fresh fruit and fresh veg. And think about those macros. Break it down, plan them, cook your meals, and enjoy what you eat as a little bit of self-care. Hopefully you've found a few of the things that I've suggested today for your own self-care to be practical, things that you're going to feel comfortable trying to implement into your life, and they will be of some impact on you. Make sure you tune in to more of the videos on My Protein. Check out the workouts on there and other bits from some of the incredible athletes that work with My Protein. Make sure you click like and subscribe, and until the next time, don't go smash it. Go spend a little bit of time on yourself, feel better, and I'll see you next time.